Hey there, everybody. Welcome to another stream. Today, it's trees. Token would be proud of us. I found two trees, armatures that were on my desk over there. And this was originally meant for the test that we did a while back. So I gotta fix these branches a little bit, but I'm not gonna do that right now. Instead, we're going to focus on making the knotty, thick bark texture that I had mentioned that I really want for the trees. Because these seasonal trees I want to be more birch-like, so lighter, almost white colored wood. But birch often has some knotty effects, like knotty as in knots and crooks and turns. So we're gonna add that texture to this tree. We'll start with that. And then I'm having the pine tree model dry because there's some spots that I had to cover up. And once this is dried, hopefully near the end of the stream today, we can actually play around with how this is going to become a actual pine tree. Since that's the first time I'm building a pine tree from scratch. All right, so let's make the mixture of the material for making that bark texture. So you can use sand, fine dirt, whatever you need. I have been using for years this one bag of organic black pepper, which means my sinuses are going to be cleared up by the end of this. That's more than enough. There we go. Ah. I'm just going to inhale this, and my noses are going to go wild. So let's mix that with some glue. There we go. I just got some new brushes, so I can use some of those. It's already happening. It's in my nose. All the material that I use here you can find in the links down below. And the tools. Hey, Chance, what's going on? I'm fighting the urge to fall asleep. The stream will help. Absolutely. I'm gonna talk a lot to make sure you don't fall asleep, because that always helps. Until my hyper focus kicks in. I think this needs a little bit of water for the mix. The scaffolds are still outside on the window. Haven't taken them down yet. Letting nature dry it. There we go. That's amazing, James. go. Just trying to find the right balance between thinness and thickness. There we go. So this step is, I would say, not necessary, and you could already start putting leaves and foliage on these trees. And while we're in this process, I should also pull out some of the dowels. I do have to cut this dowel in half. So that way the dowel and the tree can become one. About that. That's a horrible mark. Let's do a better job. Magnets. So these are 6-inch dowels. Or I should say, they're clearly measured in centimeters. 15-centimeter dowels, meaning 7.5 is what I want. I'll grab the Dremel tool in a little bit to cut that in half. So, what we're gonna do is simply just paint this texture onto the tree. I think I need a piece of foam so I can stab it in. That'll do. And by the time we get to the top, supposedly, my theory is that we're not really going to see much of that wood. So really, you know, maybe a little slabs, but not much. That's more than enough. So we basically do this to all the trees. And then once that's dry, we paint the trees. You need to work on some D&D stuff with me, Chance? What's up with that? What do you need? What's going on? I don't think there's enough sand in this, surprisingly. I think I watered it down too much. It's not muddy anymore. Messed up. Too much water. I knew it. There we go. This is far better. All right, so now that I've learned how to do my mix, it's a lot more clunky and clumpy, which is what I wanted.
Oh my goodness, come here.
Because once I paint it, I want the texture to grab the paint. It's not necessarily about looking realistic as much as it's going to help me paint it better. Well,
It's okay.
had let's see, coming back into the chat, a lot of homebrew stuff, making some more gameplay stuff, magic items. Oh heck yeah, man. Adam, can't stay for long, but keep being awesome. Best wishes from the UK. Hey Adam, thank you so much for the £5. Greatly appreciated.
Oh yeah, it's late for him. It's past midnight.
It's past your bedtime, Adam. Make sure I do this in the middle of the...
Rolling? Oh my.
Oh yeah, this reads way better. It's 45 minutes past midnight. I have an interview tomorrow, mostly definitely past my bedtime. Dude, get some sleep, buddy. Don't mess up that interview. I mostly say that in a liability sense because I don't want you to blame me. Now, you do what you do. Ah, there's black pepper in the air. There we go. So like I mentioned, this isn't a necessary part for your trees or anyone's trees, but what this does is allow it to paint a little bit better and more uniquely to whatever style of tree you want to make. And it's just glue and grains of whatever powder you have, whether it's sand, black pepper, it's whatever gets this texture. And if you get black pepper or whatever texture from a store or whatever makes sense for you, you can use this texture to add the same feeling to your rocks and your dirt and other objects in terrain. I sure do. Just not as chunky as it's normally a lot thinner. And a little bit of a bonus of doing this is because you're kind of covering the apex with a bunch of glue. Any of the branches while you were twisting and trying to reshape the tree that feel like they were about to fall off but they're just hanging on, this is a great opportunity to apply some adhesive around those spots. especially if you're a war gamer or tabletop gamer, that extra strength around the branches is probably a smart idea. Most important spot that gets this love is the apex. The rest of the branches, not that super important because they're just going to get covered with leaves and foliage. If they ask why I look so tired, I'll say I was watching a guy paint miniature trees. I'm sure they'll understand. Oh, yeah, totally. Oh, no, the sniffles have begun because of the black pepper. The cats.
No, I fell asleep and my book fell on.
Oh. See, you're not alone, chat. It's a sleepy day.
Yeah. also went to bed a little late and woke up a little early, so a little short on hours.
There we go. I need to get a tissue for all this black pepper. So there we go. We have texture painted onto the apex of these trees. Keep that mixture to the side. Do this black pepper. I don't know why I stuck with it. I should have went to sand.
Sorry, buddy.
Ah. All right. So we want to cut this in half, this dowel, because we want to make extensions to make these trees taller. Sure, in suburbia and urban areas, trees only get about 30 feet tall, which is basically this for the scale. But wild forest trees are typically taller. And to match the scale for my, or at least similar to the scaffolds that I'm working on, having these cut in half would be pretty great. So let me go grab my Dremel tool. This black pepper is getting all in my sinuses. Ta-da, Dremels. I wouldn't have this tool if it wasn't for you guys. Now, to be fair, I haven't used it in a minute, so I'm gonna look really stupid as I go through my stuff and figure out what I'm doing. Let's see, make sure I'm doing things correctly. This is not the English spot. Here we go. Okay, make sure I'm not using the wrong thing. That's polish. Which one do you guys, do any of you use a Dremel tool? And if so, I'm working on a Thieves Guild type symbols and magic runes and stuff. Ooh, that's exciting. If any of you guys use a Dremel tool, which one is the cutting wood head? I feel like the one I'm holding is it, because it's a cutting wheel. Those are not. Let's see, let's just grab a bunch of these. It feels like grinding. What a bold choice I made. It was, hey, you know what you should do? You should use the Dremel tool that you barely use. Project that requires precision. Yeah, that's what you should do. Super smart. Good thinking, David. While messing around with black pepper, so your nose is super runny. I don't think this is... That's a grinding wheel for sure. Honestly, what I need is a saw. I feel like that's a smart move. Is just get a saw and saw it down. Because this is great for sanding and grinding and polishing. Let's see, on Amazon. What's the right saw to get for this? There we go. A jeweler's handsaw. Mini handsaw, model tools, modeling knife. Oh, they're pretty cheap. Yeah, that's what I need, right? Okay, that's not a big deal. I can get that after the stream. Okay, we just won't work on that today. Cool. That's fine by me. Because once these are cut, then I'm going to use a knife to whittle them and get the same diameter as these apex trees. Not the whole way, but at least from the tip a little bit. I mean, do I need that? Not really. I think it'll be fine. Maybe. I don't know. This is the first time I'm doing it. That's why it's so new. But what we do need to do... I don't know. Is it better to just wait? Yeah, I think it's just better to wait. I don't want to get too ahead of myself. What we will work on is this tree. So this is the pine tree, fully painted. So we drilled holes in one of these dowels, and we also carved it down to be more of a triangular shape. And then we stuck wires and paper clips through the holes to get this effect. I then trimmed it to get a little bit more of a vertical look, more of a pine tree vibe. And this is the first time I'm doing it. And then I just put some hot glue on there to hold things in place and painted it over. And so what we're about to do is get the little branches, the little pine branches on this. Great. So we'll just have something to hold it. Great. It's fine. It's fine. Everything's fine. Sorry.
Cats would say otherwise.
Well, the cats are scared of everything.
Yeah, I know. So if you saw all the flash eyes. Okay. Every sound is terrifying him now.
Did that scare you guys too?
I bet you it wasn't even that loud because the iPhone cancels out certain sounds well.
Oh, yeah. That's a chunk of glue that I've been using in this. Okay. What do you do? Got plenty of glue. One of these days I'll run out. And I'll be shocked somehow. So we're going to actually just put glue on the metal branches. And at the end of the day, this is kind of the default for most trees, is you need a apex structure, the main trunk, and then you need branches that support the foliage and the leaves. And that's it. That's the core way that you make a tree. From everything I've learned, and none of it practiced. First time I'm making a tree look like a good pine tree too. So if I mess up and what I say ends up not being true, well, lessons learned. I do feel like I don't have enough branches on this tree. That's kind of like my number one concern for the look of the tree. All right. Just double check that all the branches have glue on them. Great. It's falling out of my hand. There we go. And then, sweet. And now what we're going to use, perfect. We're going to use 7mm static grass. Make sure you have spare bags or Tupperware to store all of this when you're done with it, because otherwise it will be a mess. I mean, it's going to be a mess, let's be honest. This is the messy time. You're tuned in at the perfect messy time. Try not to break the bag. There we go. Settle down. Oh, this has got a little bit of a zip lock to it. All right, so you get a close up. So the reason why for those who don't know, the reason why they call this static grass is because it actually has a lot of, oh, it's really hard to get a close up on the phone. Let me zoom in. So this is intended to do is to cover your grassy plains or terrain, and you use electricity while pouring it onto your terrain for it to actually stand up. And it'll have that a standing grass look. What we're going to use this for, though, is this tree. Make sure some of this glue isn't drying because I'm taking my sweet time. There we go. All right, so let's just go for it, and it should work. Some of the spots of the glue are too dry. Fix that up. Again, first time, first try. Lesson learned, this is a process where you have to take action. There is no hesitating or going too slow because the glue dries way too quick. Let's zoom out a bit. Come on, phone. There we go. Oh, hey, Sean. gluing my stuff. Fine by me. I can chop that off with scissors. This is how you get that piney, spiky texture to your tree. And similar to the fiber, the polyfiber to use on the other trees to hold the foliage, this is what's going to help hold foliage. This is a chunk of glue piece. Ooh, my knife. I'm trying to collect all the static grass that's fallen. Just trying to make sure all the tips have enough glue to grab more. Not paying attention to the stream camera, just trying to get the tree. So if the shot's not that good, I'm sorry about that. It's a little overdressed, but it's the underbelly. It needs to catch all the foliage. I should be doing this with my other hand, or the camera on the other side. All right, so my first pine tree. It's not finished. I still need to put foliage on it. And then I'm gonna go in here, once the glue dries, which sadly takes longer than the stream is. Once the glue dries, the goal will be to go in with some little trimmers and shape it a bit. So I'll make sure I do that tomorrow on stream. There we go. I just see some of the weirdest spots. I'm looking for them. Great. Let's close this up. Make sure to keep any leftover scrap, because this stuff can get pricey. Great. So we have this. And looking at some of these that are drying up really well, it actually has some nice looks. So let's try to zoom in and give you a peek at what we're seeing. Oh, I should check chat. Skywalker's in here. Hey, buddy. Only Dremel I use is to grind down our dog's nails. Ha! Gnarly tree, thank you. Ooh, excuse me. Good night. Oh, Sneaky, you came in and sneaked out. Woo. Alright, so let's get that zoom in. Come on. There we go. So you can see, I'll get a little pointer tool. Which tree can you see? Alright, cool. Sneaky's still here. Alright, so you can see how the pepper is drying up to be some knots and some like elements to the bark. If I could show you, oh yeah, this one over here, this is really gnarly looking. Really like this one. And those are just going to catch the paint really well. I probably won't keep this base unless you know what, I might actually. Let me see, do I have one? I have a spare one right here. Where's the dowel? Because right now, the dowel is larger, you can't see, So I have a spare one right here. The dowel is currently larger, has a larger diameter than this little end. But if I flip it and trace it, and put the magnet in here, and the dowel just goes underneath this, that wouldn't be half bad. But also, how are these all going to stand without one of these little bases? That is some thinking I have to figure out. Am I going to use the dowel for all of them or just some of them? Some of them, not all. Okay. Am I going to ever double stack a tree? Let's see. What does it look like when I double stack? That's a really tall tree. Almost too tall. That'd be a 60-foot tree. I don't have magnets in the base of the playing field. There would be magnets in the dowels and at the base of the tree. Is the situation where I actually leave these on and I trim them like I said. I trim them to match the diameter of the dowel. And then I also add these are the only ones I have currently, but I would use different ones. Here we go. This is a good test. Is this a large? Yeah. So I would get better ones than this, but this is an example, is have a few 2-inch bases that have magnets in them that I can, that I can just snap on. And then all these trees could just snap on. No matter where they are, if they have the this or just that. And they just have some bases. I don't think that's silly. I think that makes sense. What do you think? You tell me. Am I making some sense here? How do I make sure I... That was one thought. It's not even dead center either. Here, I need my ruler. This is where thinking and problem solving starts kicking in. Millimeters. What do we got? 5, 10. 11, 12, yeah, about 12 to 13, it looks like. Looks like 12 and a half millimeters. Then we measure. Oops, wrong side. Okay, so the base of this, before it hits the outer ring, is about the same size as the dowel. Tyler, welcome to the stream. Oh, thank you for saying bless you, Sean. I'm going to make spider webs between the trees. Not these trees. These trees are going to be normal trees. There we go. So, if I so it's basically cutting it like that. Or are my trees fine? No, because they have 0 weight to them. And yes, a washer would fix that entirely. Oh my goodness. Dancing trees. I'm trying to think of the right move that I want for my setup. If I go tall with my dowels, they have to be magnetic, and that gives me more space to move trees around. Yeah, let's do this. Yeah, it's pretty spot on. I was right. Okay. I wish I knew how to, and I was. See, I don't want to get like crafting paste or like cement or what some other channels do, because it just adding so many layers to just making good trees is just I don't want to do it. I don't know. I feel a bit stumped because I could just take this as is. I could. Then,
Guess who's vegan? Max from Stranger Things.
cool.
Yeah. It's just like, yeah, another person who doesn't eat animals.
Um. Because then I would need this for every piece, and that's too much work. Stumped, eh? Thank you, Tyler. I would need to cut that every single time, and that's not sustainable for 26 trees. So that's good to know. I'm gonna make this my testing tree. What's the question again? Copper, steel, wire for limbs? Not these ones, but for the green one here. For this, yes, we had wire limbs for this one. Basically just paper clips. I see a tree one. So it's going up here at the top. It's maybe 2 millimeters wider on diameter. The dowel is to the tree. Oh, maybe 3 millimeters. It's very small. It's only noticeable if you're looking for it. And once I put all the greenery and shrubbery on that, and paint this, and put some texture around this, so the same texture that I have on these, put on the dowels, that extra lip is probably not going to be an issue at all. Okay, and then I have a 2-inch base. Right now it's a clear one, and then have a magnet to snap that on, rather than have these on directly, so I can still use these as logs whenever I want. Okay. Oh, that makes sense. If there's a magnet in the tree, I can just magnetize to the base or extend it. Yeah, I don't know why my brain didn't see that right away. Cool. So let's figure out how to get a magnet in this. A magnet in this before touching all these things that are drying. And it looks like they're pretty close to being dried, which I'll give you a close-up look before the end. So before I use a power drill, where is the drill bit that I use for magnets? Right here. So, can I just twist it and get it in? First test. No. Is this reasonable? Yeah, let's be a little smart. There we go. Just a little smart, right? Okay, so I don't think this is as hollow as I thought it was. That's good to know.
Oh, is that one of the trees you already own?
Yeah. Okay, so that was a deep hole. Like, we're taking steps further and further away from easy accessible. And if you want an easy tree, I can make a video on how to just do a simple easy tree versus my full magnetic setup. And I think that's going to be a requirement for this build. All right. Like when I make the tutorial video after all the streams, I'll probably make a part of the video just saying like, here's the easy way. And now here's Carmichael's complicated extra steps way. I don't have a scaffold. I do. So it's that direction, right? Shoot, I don't know which way is top or bottom. Let me go figure it out. I have it's on the other side of the apartment. I was right. It was facing the wrong way. Okay. Doesn't matter because it can't fit. Okay, let's try a bigger drill bit. Because this drill bit worked when dealing with foam. Softer, more malleable material. How many millimeters is 732? I don't claim to know these things. 5.5 millimeters. That black pepper, I recommend you use sand, not black pepper. Oh, black pepper is the worst. But it tastes so good. Okay. What about 3/16? How many millimeters is that? Okay, so it's between these two. 3/16 for anyone wondering is 4.7 millimeters. And I believe these are 5x3, so I'm gonna go with 732. It'll give me 5.5 millimeters. I know, I'm jumping between inches and centimeters. I'm the worst. I am the villain. There we go. Quick. Are these 6 millimeter magnets? What am I missing?
How are the trees looking?
Well, the trees have texture on them.
That's exciting.
The pine trees got its first greens.
Oh, spring has come.
Spring has arrived.
It looks good. I think it just needs a little more.
Yeah, so that's the first coat. So that's gonna help catch.
No, you're gonna let it dry and then add more.
Yeah, 'cause that's gonna help catch all the foliage, and then I also have to cut a little bit off.
Okay.
So what is 1/4 inch into millimeters? I think that's a common thing people might know. 6.3 millimeters. All right. You know, I try to do things the wrong way too much. I should just learn what the right way is before doing, versus learning how to do the wrong thing by doing. That's not the fun way either, though. There we go. All right, magnets. Yo, how big is this freaking magnet? What did I order? There it goes. Nearly snug. So if this was the 3-inch or 8 centimeter dowel, the bottom branch, it would magnetically connect to this base. Just goes snap. And then this would snap. Like that. And that's how tall the trees could get. That's going to be a mix. Some of the trees are taller than the others. So there's going to be between 8 to 12-inch tall trees. Which is perfect because then all the minis are down here. And if you want to see what's going down, you can take the top off. It's not really magnetically connected. And then you can actually see the battlefield. And then you can put this back on top. Oh gosh, oh gosh. So that's a good test. It's nice to know that it's 1/4 inch or 6.5 millimeter opening. That makes a lot of sense. It's great. So, yeah. So it'll end up being about this tall of a tree. And I like that. And it makes it manageable for the game. Exciting. Now you might ask, why am I not just using foam for the bottom? It's because the dowels have weight, and that keeps more of the center of gravity lower. So when we're moving around with our hands and stuff, this stays more put than this. Great. That is a fantastic test. Let's take a look at the bark, and then we kind of have to wrap it up, guys, because I got stuff to go to. Let's see if the phone can even see it. There we go. So I can definitely feel it with my fingers. But you can see how, here's what a naked one looks like. You can see the lines are carved in, but this just has more life to it. Especially that angle where the light catches it. That's really nice. And so that's going to help the paint job once we start painting it, which we could probably do tomorrow, I think. Yeah. Yeah, we added this mold at the top of the stream, Tyler. If you were here on time, you would have known. Gosh. No. Yeah, we added it. It is this mix right here. It is a mix of PVA glue. I wish I had more trees ready to go because this is a lot of mix. PVA glue with, or it could be Elmer's glue, wood glue, whatever you want, mixed with some type of fine particle, such as sand or black pepper if you're crazy like me. Well, it's just a dip of water. You don't need a lot of water, but you need a lot of the particle to make it chunky. And then it dries like so. Let's take a look at this pine tree before we say goodnight. So you can see that it has the feeling of a pine tree now. But I do have to go in and cut some of the little whiskers off. A couple branches need more whiskers than others. And this will be ready tomorrow to get a foliage test. And you can put some foliage on this. And we'll probably do magnets at the bottom of this, so we can do dowel extensions as well. And we're gonna have quite a few different dowels. All right, serious framing. This is what we're doing.
Whoa, it's very dramatic. You're supposed to say everything through your eyes and not speak. That's the point of that shot.
Hey everybody. How are you? I hope you're well. Are my eyes communicating what you need right now? I hope they are.
You're pretending like you're doing a voiceover and so they can read your mind.
So, plan for tomorrow. Wait, thoughts. I distracted myself. No! We're gonna have, in the long run, we're gonna have 2 to 3 different types of painted dowels. We're gonna have red oak, which is what's for the pine trees. We're gonna have white birch, which is gonna be for the seasonal trees. And there's gonna be a third one. It's going to be some type of dark wood. I don't know the color yet, but that one's gonna be used between the fey trees and the the dead, rotting, web-covered trees. It's probably going to be something with dark brown and purple mixed in. Oh, we're getting serious music.
It's very dramatic.
Tomorrow, like I said, we're gonna mess around with this pine tree, get some foliage on it. Tomorrow we will start painting some of these birch trees. We'll probably just pick one and kind of get that one going ahead of the rest. And some packages just showed up, which might mean more of these trees showed up because I need to make 26 of them, not just 8. that'll be tomorrow. Heck yeah. It's a good week. It's a productive week. Check out the streams if you haven't already. In that case, I hope you guys have a wonderful rest of your day. I sure have. Thank you so much for hanging out with me. Have a great evening, afternoon, day, afternoon, evening, and of course, as always, good night.
Bye.